So there's, for example, two types of people. Either they want to be an operator or they want to be an investor. Okay? So you're either an operator or you're an investor. Okay? Now, if you're an operator, you have a slightly easier time. I can tell you that right now. Slightly easier time. And if you're an investor, you have a slightly harder time when it comes down to M&A. And I tell you the reason why. It's because I'm an investor and I have to be a bit more picky about the deals that I'm going to do. But let's put it into context. So let's take a look at the rest of this now. Now, you have, let's say you're an operator and you just want to buy one business. Okay, you want to buy one business. Operator buying one business. You can be a little bit more flexible about the type of business that you're going to buy. And the reason why you can do that is because you are going to go in and you're going to be implementing your strategies. You're going to be driving the business forward. You're going to be at the helm of that business to make it more valuable and to produce more income for yourself. Whereas if an investor is buying this one business, so what do I mean by that? This one business can be, all right, I wouldn't say distress. I'd never say buy a distressed business unless you exactly know what to do to fix it. So this business, for example, can be on the decline over a period of time if you're an operator. And the reason why it can be that is because when you come in, the whole point of you, and then you're going to get a good deal on that business, yes? You're going to get a good deal. You're not going to pay 3 times multiple, 5 times multiple for that business. You might only pay 1 time multiple, 1.5, 2 times multiple for that business. Okay? Now it's not common to get one time multiple, but it's possible when a business is on decline, especially if you're an operator and the thing is right. So then you are going to work to get that onto an up. You're going to increase the revenue. Okay? That's because you're an operator. If you're an investor, how much time do you want to dedicate to your business? Now, an investor, there's no such thing as a true investor when you've only got one business, if it's a small business or below. So obviously you've got micro business and small business. If it's a mid-cap business, then you can be a true investor. Okay? Now, so I'm an investor and I see a business which is on the decline, I automatically don't want to go for it. Okay? There has to be some really good reason why I want to go for that deal. Yes? So as an investor, I have a smaller pool of businesses that I want to go for because I'm not willing to do the work. Yes? Now, I have a team that can do the work for me now, but not as the first business. That's what I want to just highlight there. So now I have a team of 50 plus employees. I don't know what the exact number is. It's probably coming about 60, 65, something like that. They can, or the executives anyway, not obviously the juniors, whatever, but the executives, they can work towards, right, how do we improve the business? How can we coach the managers to ensure that they can improve the business? Yes? But if you're buying your first business, your pool of businesses that you can go for is really small, right? And if you're an investor, let's say, for example, you're a high net worth individual, or for example, you've got, I don't know, you've got 600,000-700,000 that you want to commit to an acquisition, or you've got 200,000-300,000 you want to commit to an acquisition. You're not a high net worth individual, but you've got a significant, chunk of cash there. So you don't want to buy a business on the decline. You want to buy a business which is, steadily increasing. And you don't mind paying a small premium for that because you know that you can sit back and relax. And the management team who've been running for the last 5, 6, 7 years have been giving it a steady increase over that period of time that they've been in charge. So you're lucky. So that's the first thing. Then you got the second one. Do you want to be an owner operator and you want to buy multiple businesses in the same industry? Same industry. Yeah, so let's say, for example, you want to go out and do 10 acquisitions in the same industry. If you're an owner operator, again, those 10 acquisitions, you're going to be driving them forward. You're going to be at the helm. You're going to be at the forefront. You're going to be the general of the army moving that forward. As an investor, you need to be, again, picky as to what type of businesses you're going to buy. And by the way, this is called a roll-up because it's the same industry. Yeah? Same industry. It's called a roll-up. What's it called? a roll up. When you're buying one business, it's just an acquisition. There's no roll up or whatever. Then you've got, and this is also called a roll up, by the way. So you've got same sector, and that's also called a roll up. It's also called a roll up. So you want to buy 10 acquisitions in the same sector. What's the difference between a sector and the industry? A sector is a larger segment of the marketplace, when industry is a small segment of the marketplace. Let's, for example, use law. So law is a sector, right? And within law, you've got commercial law, you've got immigration law, you've got property conveyancing, you've got family law, you've got inheritance law. All of these different, they're sectors, okay? They're industries within the sector of law. And then you have sub-industries, and so that's a different story. That's when you're doing, for example, you're doing family law, but only for divorces, for argument's sake. Yeah. So you're only ever dealing with divorce cases. So that's a sub-industry of an industry. So that's also called a roll-up. So let's say, for example, here you're only doing family law in the same industry, but here you're doing family law, you're doing commercial law, you're doing immigration law, you're doing property conveyancing, you're doing all sorts of things. Okay? So that's a roll-up. And then your last one is a conglomerate. So a conglomerate is basically multiple sectors. I'm going to put that here. Conglomerate. Yeah, that's multiple sectors. Now, it's a little bit difficult to be an investor when you're a conglomerate. You have to be of a very big size if you want to be a true investor. And really and truly, I don't think I've ever seen true owner investors in conglomerates. They've normally been members of the advisory board at the very least. And that's fine. I mean, to be honest, I'm part of the advisory board of my business. And it's, pretty rosy, put it that way. But conglomerates, because there's multiple sectors, you need to have specialists in certain sectors, right? So they need to know the sector of law, they need to know the sector of accounting, they need to know, I'm saying if you're rolling up law firms and rolling up accounting firms and rolling up, online businesses and rolling up oil and gas, for argument's sake, yeah, you need CEOs who understand that, CEO for each one of those. And then sometimes, for example, you need CEOs for each industry as well. And that's perfectly fine, by the way. That's multiple layers. So conglomerate is a little bit more tricky on the type of strategy that you want to apply. And you never want to go for conglomerate on your first few deals, okay? So my number one is, get your first acquisition done. Then roll up in the same industry. At least, very, very least 5 acquisitions, ideally 10. 5 is like the baseline, and still you don't want to go into different sectors or different industries. And then once you've done multiple within the same industry, then you can go and roll up in the same sector. Then, if you want to, then you can go conglomerate thereafter. That's when you step up into the different leagues. Yeah. So, for example, in the UK, when you look at the most wealthy people in the UK, is what's it called, the top 100 rich list or something like that. A lot of the top guys, they've got conglomerates. Okay, now not all of them. Now, by the way, you can be specialized in one industry and have one business. And look at Amazon. Yeah, Jeff Bezos, he has he's got a few businesses now, but he had one business and made it on that list with one business. Yes, a lot of the people, they had one business and they made it on that business. So stay in the industry. By the way, when you stay in one industry, it makes your life so much easier, because the team that you have become very proficient in managing that industry for you. So then therefore you become a true owner investor. And again, even if you're an owner operator, you don't want to be working 120 hours a week. Yeah? If you do, good on you, carry on. But I don't. Yeah. So you don't want to be working 120 hours a week. Some people want to work 80 hours a week. Some people want to work 60 hours a week. Some people want to work 40 hours a week. And by the way, as an owner operator, you should always target that you're maximum working 40 hours a week. So even as an owner operator, maximum you want to work is 40 hours a week. As an owner investor, so I do oversee my businesses, and I do between 15 and 20 hours a week. Okay, 15, 20 hours a week. Sometimes 10. Like in this month, I'm going to be doing about 10 hours a week. 10 to 15, something like that. Okay, I'm more than happy doing that because you have to keep your brain active. You have to be involved in the M&A strategies and all of that kind of stuff. So this is another thing that you need to think about within your M&A strategy.